Cape Town songbird Sophia Foster is set to honor and celebrate her music icon, the late Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin, through an all-female lineup tribute concert. This one-only virtual performance will consist of Dominique Domingo on piano, bassist Tiana Amari, drummer Andrea Davids, guitarist Kara Snethlage, Shannon Botman on sax, and vocals will come from Celeste Florence, Amy Jane, Levens, Yolanda, Mayman, and Fifi-Refuwe, Mncayi. Sophia is joining us now on Skype to tell us about the RESPECT Aretha Tribute show that is set to go live on the 13th of September. Sophia, very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Welcome.
Good morning to you, and thanks for having me on your program.
It's an absolute pleasure, Sophia. Now let's start with where the idea for this RESPECT Aretha Tribute show that obviously features yourself come from.
Yes, Aretha was part of my learning curve in the music industry, and I found that she was an activist like the artists like Nina Simone. They all had a cause that they used to fight for, and they fought for it through their music. Aretha's song, for instance, A Change Is Going to Come, resonated with me so many years. And I always, at the back of my mind, knew that one day I was going to do something to honor the music of Aretha, who was, from a very early age, she became the queen of R&B, and growing up in a family where she, from the age of 5, sat at the piano and was already gifted. My fostering foundation gave me the platform to bring this to fruition, the fact that I wanted to honor Aretha. And having all these wonderfully talented kids as part of the Fostering Foundation, I started training them and auditioning to find the right formula, put together the relevant songs of Aretha. And we've come up with this wonderful mixture of talent where we celebrate every song of Aretha.
Well, clearly she's had an enormous influence in your life and in your musical career. Speak to us about the role that she played on your career that propelled you to honor and celebrate her through this concert.
To start off with, there was a lot I could identify with. I've been in this industry for over 5 decades, and having traveled throughout South Africa during the height of apartheid, and having experienced more or less the same that American artists back then had experienced in just trying to pursue a career in an industry that was tough as it was, but still having to face a lot of not just prejudice but racism, and having to walk on stage and just get lost in your music. And our music actually saved us from becoming bitter or always being angry. I found a way to channel the anger that I experienced at times where if you performed in a venue, you had to go in by the back entrance, for instance. Right. And that anger and frustration that built up, I came to realize as I matured that the best way to channel it was through my music. And a lot of Aretha's songs, the lyrics of her songs, actually resonated with me in a way that I could honor her as well as use her lyrics as a platform to express all those, that frustration that you had to go through those years.
Okay.
And when I formed the Fostering Foundation, I was traveling through America at the time, and when I heard of her passing away, and immediately I hit the bookstores and I went into any place that had any information on Aretha, and I thought that I had to tell her story as well as honor her and celebrate what she has meant, because we tend to forget the people who came before us. And to me, that was my roots. That is what kept me going throughout my journey in the music industry.
And take us through the all-female performers that are part of this concert. Who are they, and why specifically them? And what is it that they will be bringing to the show?
To start off with, my foundation is targeted at finding little rough diamonds in a country where there is so much turmoil. I have to deal with kids who come to me from very, very disadvantaged backgrounds. Not all of them. Some of them have had the privilege of getting bursaries to further their studies and study music academics. And the kids that have landed in my garage studio are kids that come from backgrounds where some days they can't make it to come and spend time with me for me to mentor them, because they send me messages saying that there is shooting going on. The gangsters are shooting with the police and all, and they're too scared to leave their homes. And when I do get these kids in my space, it is amazing the talent that comes out of spending a few minutes or hours of just having the freedom of not looking over your shoulder and just releasing, which is exactly what I went through those years, except it was in apartheid. Now it's kids coming out of, there is so much anger, you know, and when the kids just start singing or dancing, there is this transformation. And for me to actually, you know, find these little rough diamonds and what they are, how talented they are, you know, and for me to take that talent and do something about it. And for me, the Fostering Foundation is creating a platform to actually let the world know that no matter what your background, no matter what your roots, no matter how angry you are, there is a place to release that.
Right.
And I've taught them to release that that anger.
Okay. Now, Sophia,
you
started in the entertainment business back in the mid-'60s. Take us through how
Absolutely.
the journey has been for you, and perhaps some of the key lessons that you've picked up through the way.
Like I was saying, the key lessons that I have had to become used to was the fact that to be angry all the time is a wasted energy. And in order for your audience to know what you're all about, it's by being totally honest about your music. So it doesn't matter what song you are singing, as long as you know that there is a message and that the message comes from a place of total truth and honesty.
Right.
For me, that is what makes an audience say, hey, I had goosebumps. Goosebumps can only be created by the truth,
Sure.
which comes from the artist.
Sure. And I understand that proceeds made from this concert will go to the Salvation Army and the Fostering Foundation. Tell us more about that. Yes.
At this particular production, we are actually targeting the Salvation Army, also the Fostering Foundation, which is a non-profit organization. I've been working from my garage with these kids, and we are hoping to get a global audience for this particular production. There's a lot of excitement, and people can go to Facebook, my Facebook page, which is the Fostering Foundation, and they can actually buy their tickets online through Quicket.
Break down for us, just before I let you go, what exactly will be happening next Sunday, and as to what the audience can expect to see.
Well, you're talking about audience, how we wish we could have an audience, but because of the COVID virus pandemic, we are allowed to have 15 or 20 audience members. And I know it's going to be quite a daunting task for these young people who the last time they were on stage in a production with me, they had their family to support them. And this time around, we have to just have a selective few people in the audience. And it's really going to be a challenge. But there is so much excitement around these youngsters, and it just takes me back to when I was their age and really looking forward to a performance.
All right, Sophia, all the best in your performance. Thank you so much for chatting to us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
That's Cape Town-based songbird Sophia Foster, and she's speaking to us about a virtual concert that aims to celebrate and honor soul queen Aretha Franklin, set to take place next Sunday.